This Q&A video is brought to you by J-Hap Gear. Life's a crusade. Dress appropriately.
And we are live.
Live.
And about to be consumed by mosquitoes, so we'll
probably be dead afterwards.
Yeah, probably. And I'm once again in a tiny chair. This isn't even a chair, it's like a stool. So
it's a wire.
I feel dwarfed again. Oh well. Anyway, welcome back to our Q&A episode series. This is episode 20. This is the Q&A. This is the, oh god, I can't talk. I'm being bitten by fire ants. Hold on a sec. Okay, that's better.
Again?
Yeah, there's fire. I don't even know what I stepped in. Yeah, we're outside again in our outdoor location, super secret location. And
my house in front of a lake.
Yeah. And oh my god. If you've ever been bit by fire ants,
you want to pour some water on it?
It sucks. Like it literally feels like you're kind of getting burnt a little bit. Anyway, welcome back to
fire ants.
Fire ants, hence the term. Oh, it's like they almost named them that for a reason. Oh. Anyway, welcome back to Q&A, episode 20. This is the video series where you, the viewers, ask the questions and we answer them on air for your entertainment. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Nick, why don't you take it away? Also, before we start the video, I'd like to point out Nick's awesome Comic-Con Rick Grimes outfit he's been dying to show everyone. So,
Coral.
He's actually got it down pretty darn compact.
Got all those
hat, he's got the badge, he's got the whole nameplate and everything.
It's even like, it says King Howard.
Like he's dead on.
Like
it's scary. He put a lot of effort into it. So, any Comic-Con nerds, put your comments down below what you're going as this year. So.
Now you just need to have a son and have him shot like twice.
No, let's not do that.
In the stomach.
Let's not do that.
No. And you need to have a wife that gets cheated on.
Anyway, first question. Let's go.
Best friend and.
I was thinking of inviting a certain someone to Comic-Con is Shane. Anyways.
Without two. Good thing you weren't married to her. Anyways, moving on.
Hey, I pulled out two, so I have to choose.
You have to pick one. He's on our Q&As a lot. He asks a lot of good questions.
A regular customer.
So,
gotcha.
Nightcrawler GA, or GA, or Georgia,
Yeah.
asks Mountain Dew or Coke?
Coke.
Mountain
No
Dew.
contest.
Coke.
Mountain Dew. Why do you like Mountain Dew?
Because it's Mountain Dew, it's good, it's got lots of caffeine in it, and it helps me get through college.
I just don't like Mountain Dew. It's like it's 7-Up, Mountain Dew, Sprite, ginger ale. They all kind of have that bubbly water kind of lacking taste.
I like Coke.
I like good old Southern Coke.
I didn't used to like Coke, but Coke is Coke is a Georgia product actually.
And it's it's like the first popular soda ever.
True that.
Yep.
All right, next question. We
and
got
Dr. Pepper tried to copy them.
True. John Cour asks, I think I'm pronouncing that right, C-O-U-R, John
Cour. Q-R, maybe it stands for something. Quarrel.
Sorry. When you are going to upload a bloopers and funny moments video, we just did. We uploaded Funny Moments and Fails episode 6. If you'd like to check out our Funny Moments and Fails playlist, that's in, like, you just go to our playlist on our channel. We have about 6 episodes, if I'm thinking right. We got a 7th one coming. It is coming. You guys have to bear with us on this. We know we ask for them a lot. We can't really just produce the Funny Moments and Fails.
We kind of have to wait for us to be retarded and then we get it on.
Yeah, more or less. They kind of just happen.
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot. It happens frequently, which is
like
the good news.
When I fell in mud.
Yeah, he did fall in mud. We didn't catch it on camera though, unfortunately. But
you got the aftermath.
You get the idea. They kind of have to happen. It takes a little time to find the Funny Moments and Fails, to sift through the stuff we want to air on there. Because not everything.
We don't want to be one of those people that like we purposely do stupid stuff just to make fun of that.
As a disclaimer, though, we are purposely doing something stupid right now. There's literally a thundercloud sitting.
But we're doing it for you
there.
guys, and that's what counts.
So we have a
dedication.
We have a fail possibly coming.
Well, if you get struck by lightning, then we'll definitely upload that to the next video.
With Florida, we can't really help that because it's either mosquitoes, rain, thunder, rain, mosquitoes. One of those things.
Yep. Anyway, next question, Daniel, take it away.
Okie doke. I will take it away from this ammo box.
You can do that. I'm gonna look at this guy's mind.
Easy, you might knock the gun over. Which is an awesome gun, by the way.
It is Milson.
Got a headshot between the eyes at 100 yards.
Oh yeah, we went shooting today. Had a lot of fun with that. Yeah. That's a video coming soon too. We did a little pistol shoot off.
Daniel is with a wheel gun.
Yeah. Hey, well, the first time I did it, pop. When I actually took my time, I got a grouping like that. When I didn't take my time, it was like everywhere.
Spoiler alert for the next video. All right.
Okay, Jack Slater asked, what do you guys take to Milson events? Cloths, clothes, I'm going to assume that means
clothing.
Cloths, I take many cloths. Number of magazines and number of batteries.
All right.
Okay, well, as far as cloths go, I take my
kill rag.
BDU kill rag. Yeah, I take optic cleaning cloth.
Right.
As far as clothes go, I mean, I probably, depending on how long I'm there, I try to pack light, maybe 2 changes of clothes. That leaves my BDUs, and then I have a change of clothes for each day. I don't bring pajamas because I always sleep in my underwear. Fun fact, It's just too hot to sleep in anything else. I sweat. It's true. Anyway, magazines. I usually carry about 7 to 8 magazines on my kit. Sometimes I could go a whole half a day without going through everything. That's because I'm a DMR, and so I try to take less shots and more long-range shots. I know Matt goes through magazines very relatively quickly.
Pretty quickly.
So you might carry some more magazines. And yeah, I mean, as long as you carry the right, like you have between 6 or 8 magazines, and you just keep filling them up, you won't have an issue. You can't really take like 20 magazines on the field and call it a day.
True that.
You'll get way down. And then a number of batteries. I always have 2 on me.
2 batteries. Might want to bring 3.
Yeah. Well, it depends. It depends on your gun and the battery usage that your gun goes through. Like for example, I didn't know this, but with the Burst Wizard, which is required to be installed on DMR type rifles, or something like that.
So at least those that aren't semi-automatic.
Yeah, that need to be required to be semi-auto.
Use like a MOSFET system to make them semi-only.
And that will drain your battery a lot. And I didn't know that the first time when I went to Ironclad way back when. What was it? A year.
It was also a bad battery too.
Yeah, it was a bad battery, but it literally was dead within.
So you always bring spares.
Yeah.
So yeah, to sum that up, I'm side with everything Daniel said. BDU, extra pair of clothing. The one thing I would suggest bringing is an extra pair of socks, because those, like, if you wear the long socks for your boots and stuff, bring 2 pairs of those. Don't wear the same ones 2 days in a row, because that sucks.
Yeah, they get all drenched in sweat and they chafe your ankles and make them bleed, which I've had happen a few times.
Right. Bring plenty of magazines. I run about 10. I have about, let's see, 6 on my rig, 1 in the gun, and then I keep 3 in my backpack. Nick's probably about the same, right? I imagine.
Roughly, yeah.
Roughly, yeah.
And I mean, your magazine can play a big part too as far as weight goes. So for Milson events, I would highly recommend like Elite Force polymer mag.
If you get like
cuts down on weight. Now, sadly, my gun, for whatever reason, wants to be as heavy as possible. So not only is it heavier than a real M16,
it is at this point. It literally is
heavier than a real M16. And then also, it will only use metal mags.
GMP mags.
So I'm screwed.
But yeah, like we were saying, use, like, if you try to find polymer, like the Elite Force mags, are like really lightweight. You do get a little less reliability if you like drop them and stuff. You can't break them, unlike the metal ones. Like you can probably throw those against a brick wall.
But then the plastic doesn't rust.
But then that's another.
There's trade-offs.
There's trade-offs, so you got to kind of pick and choose.
And I have to still figure out a way to scrape off that RWM number 37 off my magazine.
No, it comes off. Yeah, he got my mags from me.
I can't get them off. I literally took steel wool to it and it wouldn't come off.
Okay, well, they'll come off eventually. Nick, next question. He's gonna do it again. He's gonna throw him off the table again.
Y'all need to watch it, because if you start tempting fate, we're gonna get hit by lightning. Will CO2 work for me in our about 32-degree weather in Iowa? Well, this is Florida. The average temperature here is about 100,000.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, what I've heard from a lot of airsofters up north, and I used to go watch this guy, I think he also lived in Ohio. He did a lot of the airsoft reviews back when I was getting into airsoft, and he would. See, Nick did it.
I have to go get it. I'll get it later. Continue.
Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, I know
it's over there.
It still fell off the table.
The guy in Ohio did a lot of reviews, and from what I take it, green gas always sucks in cold weather, but CO2 usually keeps its pressure.
It'll be it's
a much higher pressure gas, and because the abilities of CO2, whatever the chemical balance of it, it doesn't have that effect. CO2 actually gets colder when it gets uncompressed, which is usual with chemicals, but the green gas, that doesn't happen as much. So,
well, basically, to summarize, he's saying is green gas, it actually doesn't work as well in colder climates. You'll lose a lot of pressure. Like if you can get through, like normally in like high temperatures, like down here in Florida, green gas mags work fine. You can get like through a full magazine. But say if you go to a colder climate using green gas, then you only may get through half a magazine, maybe like a couple different shots, like depending on the magazine type, obviously. CO2, considering it's contained in a capsule and there's a lot more pressure there, then it's a lot more effective. It's gonna, in colder climates, the CO2 will have less pressure and won't last you as long, but it'll definitely be more effective than green
we
gas.
would recommend CO2 anyway because they're always much more reliable.
Exactly, with dirt and debris and stuff. Because like I said, it has that extra pressure. If you get dirt and sand, it'll literally just plow right through it, like it just smashes.
And green gas mags leak, and they just generally suck.
Yeah.
So,
insert our traditional shout out to the Elite Force 1911 tag here.
All right, next question. Let's see. We got one from Aaron Lacey, and he asks, "How old do you reckon you have to be to play Airsoft? P.S. Love your vids." Thank you.
That wrong.
What did I say wrong? How old do you
How
reckon?
old do you have to be? How old do you reckon you have to be?
Reckon.
You
gotta reckon.
Okay.
Reckon.
Now,
Y'all reckon.
y'all reckon?
I reckon.
Y'all reckon?
I reckon.
I reckon.
I reckon you gotta be like
Get ready.
12. If
to
you
work
play at
with.
DV8 where there ain't no rules and stuff, this works real good when I wear me an old sheriff's uniform. Okay, I think 12 is like the minimum
12,
age.
there is no actual set age limit in the United States. I know there's in different countries, I think like in the UK and in different European countries you have to be like 18 to play Airsoft, but here in Florida, here in the US rather, there is no age restrictive limit as of 2016. Fields will have age limits. Like you say you go to one field, they'll say you have to be 15, you may have to be 18. I don't know. It really varies depending on the field you attend. There is no set law saying you have to be this age to play. Not to my knowledge, at least. I'm not
But
aware.
it just depends on the event rules too. And I'm sure you guys remember, but once upon a time I was 15 and we went to a Milson event at an undisclosed location, and rest assured it was an American Milson. And because I was 15 and the event required you to be 16, basically what I did was I took my school card with my ID, like my school ID. I wrote my birth date a year younger and grew a beard and got in. So if you can grow facial hair and if you can write well on an ID, you can get in.
Of course. So yeah.
But we do not condone breaking rules. It's just a habit I have.
Just Daniel specific, really. But yeah, no age limit really that we know of in the United States, but it does vary per field you go to. For us personally, if you're looking to play Airsoft, I'd wait till you're about 12. Airsoft is a very high, it's actually a contact sport considering the rounds are hitting you. You're doing a lot of physical activity, you're running, you're jumping, you're rolling, crawling, falling. It's a very physically demanding sport. The temperature and the heat you may have to put up with, at least here in Florida and other states like California and Texas, the heat you have to put up with.
It's just one of those things that really you have to be you have to be a little older to stand because we've been at events and literally helped carry a kid out of the forest.
We've had younger kids show up and they're probably about 10, 11, and they're just walking out there in the woods, and we've literally had to like almost carry them back out because they get lost or they get overheated, they get
and you're carrying a gun and gear,
and it's heavy, like Dan said.
Long sleeves. So.
Exactly. So I just wait till you're a bit older to start playing Airsoft. I mean, you can
always backyard skirmish and really get a hang of the sport before you even go to do that, because that's how we all started.
Exactly. So just make sure you're on a private property away from
not pissing people off,
annoying neighbors.
Getting the cops called.
Yeah.
Or
that
SWAT teams.
That did.
Yeah.
It did.
And the Coast Guard.
that was more of the part of a liberal neighbor.
We've gone over this story so many times.
Yeah.
All right, next question, Dan. I think we have time for a couple more.
It's a comment from 1 week ago by Hobby Vids, or is it maybe by
Hobby Vids?
Hobby Vids.
No, Hobby Vids.
Hobby
Vids.
Hobby.
Read the question.
Okay. If you all could go, or if you all could do over any Airsoft game you have played, what would it be?
Do over as in a good or a bad way?
Like,
any game.
Okay, well let's set this at two scenarios here. So, playing a game a second time because it was awesome, or redoing a game because it didn't go like we wanted it to.
Okay, I know what I would do. I would redo Ironclad 2, the first actual out-of-state Milsom event that I've ever been to. I would do it because knowing the stuff that if it played over exactly the same, I would know, if you guys watched the series, when we went through that tunnel and there was that many guys in that one room when me and Tyler came up from underneath, I would have thrown like 2 frags in there and we would have killed everyone in that whole building. And I would love to have done that again. Then we would have taken the building and we would have to hold it down, like literally in their own base. That would be so cool if we could do that game again. I would totally Ironclad 2, plus a whole bunch of other different scenarios too.
Okay, Nick, what game would you like to do again?
Because it was awesome.
Because it was awesome.
The Jade Helm pushback game.
That was a fun game.
I just want to play it again.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Because it was awesome.
They had the tanks, the UN setup and everything. It was awesome. That was really fun.
I comment on that almost every video.
Yeah, I'm with Nick there. I would definitely want to do, the UN game over again, because with American Milsim, I mean, they're always going to be around, and so, or hopefully. So you always kind of get that really awesome experience every time you go. With DV8 and that game, the UN game, UN Pushback, or Jade Helm Pushback, sorry, you're pushing back the UN. Anyway, that game was so much fun, and it was probably a once-in-a-lifetime event because of the actual deal. So, theory. But so, that was so much fun. The only thing, that kind of almost falls into my redo, because it was epic, but I did get captured and held for about 2.5 hours.
You redo that part, then you don't get captured the second time around.
It has his pluses and minuses too, because yes, I did get captured, but I also got to shoot a real Russian in the face when I was captured, because I said, "Here, can you do something for me?" And then I literally just pulled his handgun out and shot him. So.
Or if you get captured again, you know what they're gonna do, and then you can have a little knife in your back pocket.
I would have fragged about 6 guys, but the grenade decided to not work, because we have a 30% chance of them working usually.
Oh, the Thunder Bees have a 30% error rate. If you throw them, you have no idea if they're going to go off or not.
It's scary.
Our ammo box is vibrating. No, I think it's Daniel's phone. We're using Daniel's phone as a counterweight so it doesn't fall over.
That's what this wire is doing.
Yeah, that's in case anyone's wondering.
Now I want to know who texted
me. It's hey, why is this ticking down from 10?
It sounded like a Snapchat thing.
You can tell by the buzzes, what you get?
Well, usually, I mean, texts are usually bzz, bzz, and Snap is bzz.
I can tell when Matt texts me because I hear buzz.
Yeah,
buzz,
I send a whole bunch. I send incremental text messages. I'll say if I have
you can't combine a thought or summarize it.
No. It has to be 3. Once they get to a certain length, I send them, and then. Anyway, moving on. Next question. I think it's your turn.
Oh, we didn't. Well, we didn't go over the ones that we didn't like. Well, I did.
I thought you did. Yeah, I thought we did this already.
Did you?
Yeah, I said mine. I said Ironclad 2. You said Jade Helm.
No, the ones that you didn't like.
Oh, we're doing the ones we didn't like too?
Well, because it kind of has a second basis.
The one I didn't like that I'd like to do over again and improve it would be,
maybe Fallen Eagle?
Yeah, Fallen Eagle. If I did that one over again, I'd probably
just because I didn't
more aggressive.
Shoot anyone the entire day.
Yeah.
Because we were acting under orders and we weren't allowed.
Yeah. And there was no action that entire game, so going back through it again, I'd be a lot more aggressive and offensive.
The way they did it was almost too realistic, because with a Milsim event, I mean, yes, there's rules of engagement, but it's not for example, at Fallen Eagle, we had rules of engagement, so we were not allowed to fire unless fired upon, and I think that went for both teams. So both teams saw each other, but were waiting for each other to fire. So we basically snuck around the field the entire time.
Not
only
shooting at
apparently
anybody.
Special ops teams actually got any action, and we just kind of let's go here. Okay, now we got to fall back, and yeah,
it's literally going to start raining in 30 seconds. All right, Nick, let's wrap it up with your last question before we get struck by lightning.
Strike me.
I want this one. Yeah, this is upside down. Okay.
Okay. Oh God, you picked the long one. Okay.
This one's for Matt.
Yay! Give it to me.
No. I'm going to ask it.
Okay.
From the Brick Browthers. There's a U in there.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Browthers. The Brick Browthers one. First of all, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you in the court of law. If you're not good for attorney, one will be appointed to you. Yeah, you messed that one up. But anyways, Matt, have you ever run with the Bullpup Rifle before?
Answer to that question is no. I have never run with the Bullpup Rifle. I've always wanted to, but I've kind of prioritized my money into building the M4s I really have at the moment, and sidearms and other stuff like that. So no, I've never actually used or run a game with a Bullpup.
Secondly, do you know any good airsoft fields in North Carolina?
Okay. I get this question a lot, and I'd like to inform you guys that every time I get this question, I leave a link. If I see it in the comments section, I will leave a link saying, go check out this website. It's called a website called AirsoftC3.com. If you go to their website, they have a whole map of the United States, and if you click on your don't throw it off the table again.
Didn't.
They have a whole map, and it will list state-specific fields, teams, and shops. And you click on your state, and then it'll bring up a whole list and little dots all over this map of your state that you click on, and it'll show you specifically where the field is, where the team is located out of, and the shop. So if you're looking for specific fields in your area, instead of have to go through Google and everything like that, just go to AirsoftC3.com and just click on the state that you're from, and it'll bring up an entire list of all the known fields that are in your state, and hopefully one will be by your area, and you can just plot and plan from there. So,
do you think I can chamber a comment?
Chamber a comment in the Mosin? This is not a good idea.
It's a great idea.
Anyway, while Daniel's doing this, I think that'll about wrap it up for this Q&A video. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like, and also if you'd like to see your comment aired in the next potential
Push it
video.
hard enough, it'll work.
God, you're gonna break this thing. He's already broken it.
Can you break a Mosin?
Yeah, you can, actually. Anyway, as I was saying,
It won't go down.
if you guys like to see your comment aired in the next Q&A video, please be sure to leave a comment down this comment in the comment section down below. And if it's good enough, then we'll print it out, cut it up, throw it into our question and ammo box, and hopefully air it on our next Q&A video. So, thanks for watching, guys. Talk to you guys soon.
Should probably get the unjamming on.
Yeah, let's get that. He's broken it again.